Hey everyone, Sal from Boston. This is another video update on AMC. This is something that people are asked for, some of the quant and the analytics behind my theory on 1 million. I don't share DD in terms of my quantitative analysis. I've done just a little bit on an Excel spreadsheet. I do that just because of liability reasons, obviously, because I don't give financial advice. But I'll show you some of my rationale. And I think that's good enough. I think you'll understand where it's coming from. And I think you'll understand why I'm, taking the position that I'm taking in regards to this. So I don't know how many of you guys actually know what this is we're looking at. This is a Bloomberg screen, right? So I have access to this, and I've got access to most of the records that I've seen for AMC and GME. This particular page has everything from the options chains, people that are shorting us, people that have calls and puts on us, you name it. It's got it all there, all of the bad guys, really. And it stretches back for a significant amount of time. A lot of shorts, and that's kind of interesting. It also has, all the historical data that it comes with it, increasing of shares. So 537, and it just keeps going and going, and well, you see what they've done. So they've got a significant position in this, and it's kind of neat, You see how the other sides are working together. But these are institutional sellers, right? These are people like us that own stock in AMC, and I want to show you some things that I figured out, and I want to share with you. And I've taken some of this data, right, the relevant stuff, the institutional data, and I slapped it into this. It's a Excel spreadsheet, right? I want to show you what I've done. So these are all the institutional holders of AMC. There is roughly 300-ish, 398, I think. Yeah, 398. Of institutional sellers. I have taken them and I thrown them into a chart, pivot tables and a chart. And I want to show you guys a couple things. So these are all the institutional holders, right? 29%, the big block goes to Vanguard and then BlackRock and all the other smaller firms that have shares and holdings within AMC that are less than 1%. They're all here. It goes all the way down to literally one share. There are institutions that literally hold one share of AMC, which is kind of interesting, I thought. Why, I don't know. It's just a strange thing. Like I said, my sources from Bloomberg. The institutional holding is 163 million. Shares outstanding is 507. The float, 448. 560,000, so on and so forth. And if you take a look, this is essentially mathematics of the quant that I did with the float. Okay, I started doing the float plus, well, actually multiplied by how many times over we've purchased it. I thought that was interesting. I thought maybe this would be something that you'd find useful and you'd find value in. When I did the math and I started to calculate what it would look like, in like a pie chart, and how this would all be accomplished, I found some really interesting answers to it. And I want to share that with you, okay? So hold on one second. Okay, guys, so this is what it looks like. This is the chart that I've made up, and I want to just explain it to you real quick. So from the data analytics that I've done, I found out the float has 507 million, and the institutional holdings, including the float and the retail investors, what we have. And I wanted to put that all together and put it in a nice, neat graph so you can take a look at it. Okay, so let's say this is the float right here, right? This is the entire float, $507 million, 507 million shares rather. Institutions hold 27% of that, which is 163, and then we have the rest, which is 73. And I think Adam Aaron said it was 80 or something to that effect. Okay, pretty significant, right? We still own a lot of it. So if the institutions sold all of them, like the people that I showed you in the beginning, if all those people sold, we would still have a significant amount of shares between us that we can actually go to the moon with, 100,000 plus, all right, just the float alone. But we all know the truth that it's not just the float, it's the float multiplied by 5x. Let's say it's 5x, okay? Then the institutional holders become 7%, and us, the retail investor, has over 2 billion shares that they have to buy back. 2 billion. That means these guys right here, the institutional holders, right? Those numbers, right? 163 million, they can sell all of their stuff all at one time or whenever, and we still hold 2 billion shares that the hedge funds have to buy back. Crazy numbers, right? How about 10x? What about 10 times the float? Then what? 4% of institutional holding. That's 100, same number, but look how many shares that they have to buy back from us. 4 billion with a B, okay? What if we did 15? Then it becomes 2% of the float. The actual float, which has been, I mean, we're talking about 15 times we bought this float over. We're just throwing numbers out there, right? 2%, that's 2% of the entire float, and we hold 6 billion shares. 6 billion. How about 20? Less than 2%, 163. We have almost 9 billion shares that they have to buy back. Insane, right? Crazy numbers. We know for a fact that this stock has been shorted so many times over that we have bought the float multiple times. We just don't know how many. It's somewhere between here and here for most people. For me, I did my math, I did my quantitative analysis starting back in 2015 because I knew that the same people that were here before, the shorts, these guys right here, has been using AMC as the milking cow for a significant amount of time since 2015. So they've been producing naked shorts. It's my belief they've been producing naked shorts since 2015, and the number is actually closer to 15, 20x the float. If you look at the numbers from 2015 to now, you'll see the same pattern you're seeing in early January, right? And they've been naked shorting. They've been taking investors. They lure them in. They take their money away, and that's it. That's what they do. That's exactly what they do. I believe it's somewhere here, but even if it's just here and here, we'll be able to break 500,000 easy. Easy 500,000. 10 times the float, 5 times the float, significant amount of money. So we have people that are saying, oh, we're going to bracket, we're getting out between, X amount of dollars or whatever. Why? Why would you do that? That's so silly. If you have even 5 times the float, which is 2 billion shares they have to buy back, look at the number. Why would you sell your 3,000 shares or whatever at like $3,000? It's absolute foolishness. Foolishness. These institutional holders, though, they're going to be coordinating. Now, I've put the premise out here. They're all just going to sell out at once. That's not going to happen. What's been happening is that Citadel has had AMC shares. They have bought in the past a bunch of our shares. They own them, and they've been selling them to their friends, people within the industry, and they're doing a strategic sell-off. And I'll cover that in the next video. Don't miss that one. That will save you a huge amount of stress and a heartache if you miss that one. Don't miss that one. But I want to ask you something, and it's an honest to God question. Why on earth would you sell your shares early for 3,000, 10,000, 20,000 when clearly they're worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? All you have to do is hold until the institutional investors leave, and they will leave. They're eventually going to get tired of this because Citadel's plan is with their chums, right? There are some of these guys that want to go to the moon with us. I don't have the time to disseminate who those people are. What I can tell you is the tactical sell-off, the strategic sell-off with their chums, that's when they're expecting you to leave. When you see the dramatic drops and you're supposed to freak out, oh, I'm a little girl, I don't want, and sell off. That's what they're trying to make you do. It costs you nothing to hold. Zero. Okay. So I want to just make sure that we're all on the same sheet of music here, right? We own all this, all of it. We own all this, maybe all this. Huge numbers, huge. There is no way in God's green earth they're going to be able to buy it all back. It's just impossible. I'm showing you the statistics in this so you understand what it actually looks like on paper. It's impossible. If you sell early, you are robbing yourself. If you are, there's no other way to put it. If we own even just 5 times the float, 2 billion shares they have to buy back. Look at these people. Look at these clowns. They have to buy back billions and billions of shares. 55 financial institutions that are worth in the trillions. They have to buy back all of this, all of that, all of this, all of that, all of it. It's huge. These numbers are crazy numbers. That's why this whole thing has been driven the way that it has, how we've been effed with on every avenue, right? They made us look bad on TV. They brought FUD. They brought shills into the groups. They have done anything and everything to disrupt the operational tempo of the retail investor in the AMC shareholder community. They've done everything, but we will not sell. We are retail. We will not sell. We will dictate the price. And my price is $1 million. I'm not leaving until I see a ticker going up to $1 million fucking dollars. It's just the way that it is, because I know what I have. I really know what I have. And I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm not trying to browbeat you. Yes, I've come from a privileged background. I have a master's and I have an MBA, both in finances, and I can look up this data and I can find this data. I know how to synthesize the data and I know what I'm doing. Yes, I have that luxury, and I'm grateful to God and whatnot. But I'm telling you guys, right? Look at the amount of shares they have to buy back. That's astronomical, in the billions. And as long as we hold, as long as we don't sell, we'll reach insane numbers, crazy numbers. The numbers that you're looking for to change your life, the real numbers that are going to produce life-changing wealth. That is what we have in our hands. And in my next video, I want to talk about the strategic sell-offs, how this whole thing will come together, how it's all going to be put together, what they've done so far, and how you are to behave if you're a retail investor. Of course, this isn't financial advice. This is suggestions, mere suggestions from a guy from Boston. That's it. And I'll show you how it's all going to be worked together and coordinated, how there's going to be price. Basically, they're allowing their friends to sell off at a certain price, and the price drops dramatically. And that's what we're going to expect to see. Okay, so I will show you that on the next video. Thank you very much for joining me. This is Al from Boston signing out. If you like my content, please feel free to share it with somebody else, with your friends, the other A community, and I'll talk to you next time. Signing out. Bye.